So today's session is on inguinal canal. Now the anatomy of the inguinal canal. You must have heard of this word inguinal canal before, inguinal hernia. Many people, especially elderly people, they say that I have a hernia, and that is inguinal hernia. That means abdominal contents have entered inguinal canal. तो आप अगर बोलेंगे कि अगर हर्निया होने वाला है, इधर हर्निया होने वाला है, तो फिर एक कनाल बनाया नहीं? क्या ये सर्जन लोगों के लिए बनाया ताकि ऑपरेट करके उनके घर चले अपेंडिक्स की तरफ? Why inguinal canal was created by God? The reason is for testes to descend. So inguinal canal, which is where exactly in the groin region here, that is the place from where the testes descend into the scrotum. On Tuesday we are going to discuss this topic. We are going to discuss this topic of external genitalia and testes. So that time we will discuss in detail that how the testes descend, which month, where they are. But currently you should know that this is for the passage of the testes. Then you will be studying the peritoneum also eventually. So along with the testes, there is a peritoneum also going down to the inguinal canal. That means here is the peritoneal cavity, the whole peritoneal sac, and through that one extension is going down here into the scrotum. Now imagine if this extension does not get cut off. Normally what happens if this gets cut off? This is called as processus vaginalis. You must have heard the term tunica vaginalis in your 12th standard. It is a covering over the testes, tunica vaginalis. That is developed from processus vaginalis. What is processus vaginalis? It's an extension of the peritoneal sac into the scrotum. So this will eventually surround the testes. Okay, and form tunica vaginalis. But now there is a risk that if this doesn't get cut off from peritoneum, that means anything from the peritoneum, some intestine, some extraperitoneal tissue, fat, omentum, dysentery, can go and cause a hernia. These types of hernia are called as indirect hernia. This happens in young subjects also. Normally regular hernias happen in adults and elderly people. But this is seen in young subjects because there is a congenital defect. What is that defect? The peritoneal sac is continuous down. It has not got cut off from the processus. Intact processus vaginalis. Okay. So this we'll discuss in details as towards the end of today's session when we talk about inguinal hernia. Okay. Currently we will discuss what is or where is this inguinal hernia, which is 1.5 inches long, okay, or 4 centimeters. And it extends from deep inguinal vein is there in the fascia transversalis, up to the superficial inguinal ring, which is there in external oblique aponeurosis. So from deep ring to superficial ring. Okay. Now where is the deep ring? Suppose this is the inguinal ligament. Suppose this is the inguinal ligament. So deep ring is above the mid-inguinal point. Above the mid-inguinal point is deep ring, and here in the external oblique aponeurosis is the superficial ring. So the inguinal canal extends from deep ring to the superficial ring. From deep ring, which is there in deep ring is there in fascia transversalis. Superficial ring is there in external oblique aponeurosis, 4 cm long. Now let us look in a parasagittal section, then we will come to the boundaries of the inguinal canal. So now I am taking a sagittal section, okay, a parasagittal section. Yesterday we discussed in the last session the layers of the anterior abdominal wall, skin, superficial fascia, external oblique, lower border forms inguinal ligament, internal oblique, transversus abdominis, fascia transversalis, extra peritoneal connective tissue, parietal peritoneum. Now one more thing that happens is this internal oblique unites with the transversus abdominis to form a tendon called as conjoint tendon. To form a tendon called as conjoint tendon. Conjoint tendon. You are there with me? So this is inguinal canal. Inguinal canal. Now let us talk about its anterior wall, posterior wall, roof and floor. Roof and floor. Structures forming the anterior wall of inguinal canal. One, two, anterior wall, 1, 2, 3. What is that? 1, 2, 3. Skin, superficial fascia, external oblique, aponeurosis. And in the lateral part there is 4 also. So internal oblique ना थोड़ा सा anteriorly जाता है. Okay. So in the lateral part, to be specific, lateral 1/3, lateral part, it is 4 also. In the exam you are not going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. Exam you are going to write actually 1, 2, 3 the names. Posterior wall. Posterior wall I will write afterwards. Before that I will write the roof. Roof is formed by 4 and 5. What is 4 and 5? What is 4 and 5? External oblique and transversus. posterior wall is formed by 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. What is 6, 7, 8? Discharge transversal is the anterior wall had 1, 2, 3 and posterior wall also has 1, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And in the medial 2/3 9 conjoint tendon. In the medial 2/3 there is conjoint tendon. Okay. And floor is formed by 10. What is 10? Inguinal ligament and medial part lacunar ligament. It is also one of the extensions of inguinal ligament. Lacunar ligament. You have heard of lacunar ligament? Yes. Floor is formed by 10. So 1, 2, 3 anterior wall. 4, 5 roof. 6, 7, 8 posterior wall. Floor 10. In anterior wall there is additional 4. Posterior wall there is additional 9 conjoint tendon. Okay. So anterior wall, posterior wall, roof and floor. Is it clear to you that corner? You are able to see this? So now let's go to the contents of the inguinal canal. The contents of the inguinal canal are different in male and female. In male there is spermatic cord. And in females there is round ligament of uterus. Males spermatic cord, females round ligament of uterus, and in both males and females there is ilio inguinal nerve. Ilio inguinal nerve. In both males and females. Contents is clear. Then boy in the corner, stand up. What is the content of the inguinal canal? Bolo. Spermatic cord in males. In females, round ligament of uterus. And in both the sexes. Now this round ligament of uterus runs from uterus to labia majora. Labia majora corresponds to scrotum, homologous with scrotum. What is there inside the scrotum? Testes. So you are getting a structure which is running to the scrotum or labia majora. In case of males, spermatic cord. In case of females, round ligament of uterus. There is a structure called as gubernaculum, which we will be studying in details in the next class. Gubernaculum. ये आपने पहली बार सुना रहेगा. सुना है क्या होता है? Sorry. When have you heard this? Huh? Right. So this gubernaculum, suppose this is the scrotum. Gubernaculum is attached to the floor of the scrotum, and from there to the testes or ovary, whatever it is. Now consider this as testes. This gubernaculum passes through the inguinal canal, and it keeps on shortening, and that pulls the testes down. Okay. So this gubernaculum actually directs the testes towards the scrotum. Now what happens in case of females? Suppose this is the ovary. This gubernaculum runs like this to the uterus, and from there goes like this. In case of females, so it splits. In testes, what was happening? It was running from there to scrotum. In females, what happens? It runs from there to uterus. It's an additional organ in females. Not additional organs, it's homologous to prostatic utricle in males. Sometimes this feminist crowd, my wife used to study in one of such universities, and once some feminist had come, she was like, we females are superior to males because we have one additional organ, and that is uterus. My wife comes home and tells me, we females are superior to men. Anatomy. Prostatic utricle is homologous to uterus. So no additional organ in males or females. No additional organ. Some organs are rudimentary, like mammary gland in females. Okay. So it's completely, they are not called that males are superior or anything. Now here what happens, because of this uterus, the round ligament gets split, and therefore the ovaries don't come to the scrotum or labia major. When the testes, because this is not there, testes come to the scrotum, ovaries don't come to labia major. Okay, so this also we will discuss again. Now this spermatic cord has coverings. Now don't tell me कि आपको वो भी मालूम. External spermatic fascia, internal spermatic fascia. Okay. Suppose this is the spermatic cord. I am not talking contents of the spermatic cord. Right now I am just talking about the province. It is covered by internal spermatic fascia. Then it is covered by cremasteric fascia. And then outermost external spermatic fascia. Wow, very external spermatic fascia. Now let us see how they are divided. Now suppose this is the spermatic cord, which I have drawn in white, passing through the inguinal canal. So firstly, this blue thing what I have drawn is fascia transversalis. This blue thing what I have drawn is fascia transversalis. Opening in the fascia transversalis is deep inguinal vein, which is above the mid inguinal point. Superficial vein, where it is situated? Yeah, but then the location is just above and slightly lateral to the pubic tubercle. Superficial vein ring is just above and lateral to the pubic tubercle. Deep ring is above the great inguinal point. So this is fascia transversalis and it has an opening in it. ये एकदम $1 million डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर रहा हूँ, कोई भी बुक में नहीं है. हमारा चैनल ऐसा चैनल है जो इसको फर्स्ट टाइम कवर कर रहा है. So you may, of course, it will appear in one of the books in the future. Fascia transversalis का opening का नाम क्या है? So this is deep inguinal. So the spermatic cord has passed through the deep ring, and when it has passed through the deep ring, the deep ring gives it a covering. That covering is called as internal spermatic fascia. समझे आपको? साइड से देख रहे हैं, स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड एब्डोमेन में से आया, fascia transversalis के ओपनिंग डीप रिंग में से पास हुआ, तो जा रहा है तो भाई जाते जाते मेरी तरफ से कोई कवरिंग. ओके, fascia transversalis. So this is fascia transversalis and this is internal spermatic fascia. Next, fascia transversalis के बाद क्या है? लेयर कौन सा है? आगे fascia transversalis के आगे transversus, उसके आगे internal. So together they give a covering called as cremasteric fascia. Together they give a covering called as cremasteric fascia. So the fascia of transverse aponeurosis of transversus abdominis and internal oblique together cremasteric. और उसके आगे क्या है? सबके आगे क्या है? एक्सटर्नल ओब्लिक. एक्सटर्नल ओब्लिक के बीच में ये ओपनिंग है, उसका नाम क्या है? व्हाट इज दिस ओपनिंग इन द एक्सटर्नल ओब्लिक? Superficial. So as it passes through the superficial ring, external oblique also gives it a covering. That covering is called as external spermatic fascia. So you got it. So basically then what is this? From here to here what is this? Our inguinal canal. And as this spermatic cord is passing through each layer, everyone is giving them a covering. This is clear. Now contents of the spermatic cord. Contents of the spermatic cord, the most important content should be the first which you should talk about. क्या रहेगा? Most important content which you should not miss. Vas deferens. Vas deferens. Okay. Then it is going to the testes. So now testes need blood. Vas deferens need blood. Epididymis needs blood. So the next three what you should draw is artery. तो लोग क्या होते हैं ना, डर जाते हैं. First vas deferens, then three arteries. What are the three arteries? Testicular artery, artery to the epididymis, and artery to vas deferens. Artery to vas deferens. After this comes a very tricky question where they ask whether the testicular vein is also there. Testicular vein होता है. Ductus deferens also. Ductus deferens. Nowadays the textbooks are using artery to ductus deferens. This is called as cremasteric artery. You write here cremasteric artery. The second artery you can write cremasteric artery. It supplies epididymis and other structures, but write cremasteric artery. Veins. Testicular vein is not a content of the inguinal canal. Afterwards, it may. So when the spermatic cord is there in the inguinal canal, there is no testicular vein there. There is pampiniform plexus of veins. We will discuss this in our next class when we discuss on testes. Pampiniform plexus. Pampiniform. Pampiniform. Pampiniform plexus of veins. These pampiniform plexus are eventually going to unite and form testicular veins. Okay. Both the sides. Then the genital branch or branch from the genital branch of genitofemoral nerve is also one of the contents, and always you can bang upon lymphatics. So that is the content of the spermatic cord. So in male, content of inguinal canal is spermatic cord, and content of spermatic cord. लोग बोलते हैं कि फीमेल्स आर कॉम्प्लेक्स इधर मेल्स फीमेल्स सिंपल राउंड लिगामेंट ऑफ यूट्रस. व्हाट इज द कंटेंट? राउंड लिगामेंट ऑफ यूट्रस. कल को अगर किसी फीमेल आपको किसी ने बोला यार तुम लोग फीमेल लोग ना बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स होते हैं यार अभी राउंड लिगामेंट ऑफ यूट्रस तुम्हारा देखो स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड और उसके अंदर ये 6 कंटेंट मतलब याद रखने को कितना मंजर हो जाता है. Okay, so ductus deferens, artery to ductus deferens, testicular artery, cremasteric artery, pampiniform plexus, genital branch of the genitofemoral nerve, and the lymphatics. Okay, so that's the contents of the spermatic cord. Now let's talk about inguinal hernia. What is hernia? आप जैसे सेकेंड एमबीबीएस में जाओगे तो आपको सर्जरी पोस्टिंग में फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन पूछते व्हाट इज हर्निया. फिर आपको मशीन का डेफिनेशन याद होती है. ऐसा आपको बताना पड़ता है कि hernia is a protrusion of any normal or abnormal viscous through any normal or abnormal opening of the body. Abnormal opening last time we discussed yesterday also. When I say yesterday, I am referring to last time. In our Marathi language, we use the word parva. परवा नाही का परवा मीन्स मागच्या वर्षी पण मागच्या महिन्यात. So we studied that after the abdominal incision there can be hernia due to the weakness. So that is abnormal opening. After laparoscopy there is hernia, abnormal opening. But when there is hernia through inguinal canal, femoral canal, normal hope. Okay. So any protrusion of the viscous through normal or abnormal hope of the body is hernia. Okay. Inguinal hernia can be indirect or direct. So now you are in a position to understand what is indirect hernia. We discussed indirect hernia passes from deep ring to superficial ring, right? From deep ring to superficial ring, and what is the reason for that? Patent processes vaginals. When we talk about the coverings of this is something which will harass you till you will pass your third MBBS. Coverings of these hernias. What are the coverings? The most easiest coverings you can describe is of the indirect hernia. जो हमारे उसके coverings है. So extra peritoneal connective tissue, internal spermatic fascia, premastic fascia, external spermatic fascia. Okay, so that will be the coverings of the, and after external spermatic fascia there will be skin. Internal hernia occurs आ सकता है. Right now I am just talking that most of the time peritoneum itself is the hernia. You are getting it. So therefore I am not talking about peritoneum. It is the peritoneum only which herniates. So what is it covered by? Extra peritoneal connective tissue, premastic fascia. So ये बहुत easy है अपना regular. Now comes the difficult part. Direct hernia. तो indirect इधर से आता है तो direct कहाँ से आता है? Direct comes from the posterior wall, piercing the fascia transversalis, creating an opening. Okay, not an opening. It doesn't create an opening. It pushes the fascia transversalis and enters the inguinal. This was ये indirect को हम लोग नाम indirect दे रहे हैं, लेकिन वो बेचारा इज्जत से आ रहा है, बराबर से रस्ते से, deep range थोड़ा बहुत protocol follow करते हैं. मतलब जो बच्चे स्टेयरकेस पे से आते हैं ना वो छूट, वो क्या है? इनडायरेक्ट. और जो डायरेक्टली लिफ्ट में जाते हैं या वो पीछे वाले लिफ्ट से आते हैं और चौथे माले पे उतर के ऐसे स्टेयरकेस से आते हैं, सब मेरे को बता. डिटेल्स में नहीं जाता. डायरेक्ट hernia comes from the posterior wall. Posterior wall of the inguinal canal is formed by fascia transversalis, extraperitoneal connective tissue, and parietal peritoneum. So now indirect I am rubbing because direct hernia also is of two types. Now we are talking about direct hernia. Direct direct, whatever your English is. Now this is rectus abdominis of one side. Rectus abdominis muscle. This is inguinal ligament. Okay, and this is one side of the ankle. Inferior epigastric artery. Rectus abdominis, inguinal ligament, inferior epigastric artery. क्या दिख रहा है आपको ज्योमेट्री के हिसाब से? This triangle is called as Hasselbalch's Hassel H-A-S-S-E-L Hasselbalch's triangle. So मतलब indirect was coming like this, direct comes from here and then enters the inguinal. So that is the reason it happens in little elderly people or those who strain themselves, abuse the abdominal muscles, because the protrusion comes from here. Medially bounded by lateral boundary of rectus abdominis, laterally bounded by epigastric artery, inferiorly by inguinal ligament. Don't worry, even if you forget all of this evening, again you are going to study the inguinal canal. I tried to over there, they will be showing diagrams and all, and this is one of the questions which comes in the exams. So better to listen it 2 times. Now, this triangle is further divided. Sorry, ये मैंने नहीं किया. By obliterated umbilical artery into medial part and lateral part, and that's how the direct hernia is divided into medial direct and lateral direct. Medial direct and lateral direct. Obliterated artery kind of forms a cord. So obliterated. So it's cord-like. So therefore it can sustain. It's no longer just an artery. It's a cord. It's like patent ductus arteriosus. अगर नहीं हुआ तो actually when the ductus arteriosus it is actually a cord, no longer an artery. Okay. So the layers will be extraperitoneal connective tissue. Extraperitoneal connective tissue. I will write the layers of this also. Indirect hernia also. Right? Extraperitoneal connective tissue. बराबर है? Then इसमें क्या था? What was that? Next. What was there next? इसमें क्या था? Internal spermatic fascia. यहाँ पे दोनों जगह it will be fascia transversalis. Actually, fascia transversalis only gives internal spermatic fascia. But यहाँ पे it is directly coming through the fascia transversalis. Internal spermatic fascia is the covering given by the fascia transversalis to the spermatic cord. You are understanding? Okay, वो इज्जत से दिया. चेंज फेशिया ट्रांसवर्सेस डायरेक्ट। देन इसमें थर्ड लेयर क्या था? हाँ, Rhematic fascia. Then external spermatic fascia, skin. So external spermatic fascia, skin. External spermatic fascia, skin. This remains same. The only difference actually is here. What forms the, when we talked about the posterior wall, we said in the median two-third it is formed by conjoint tendon in the median. The lateral part it remains rhematic fascia. तो अगर आप देखोगे इनडायरेक्ट और लैटरल का ऑलमोस्ट सेम rhematic fascia, खाली डिफरेंस क्या है? इंटरनल spermatic fascia एंड इसका और इसका ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, खाली थर्ड लेयर में डिफरेंस है, conjoint tendon and so in case of direct hernia, in the coverings you have to remember the second covering instead of internal spermatic fascia, it is the source of internal spermatic fascia, that is fascia, and in the third layer in the median direct it is conjoint tendon, right, and lateral direct it is same as indirect. आपको मैं बताता हूँ, ये जो मैंने ड्रॉ करके आपको दिखाया है, ये समझने के लिए लोगों के एटलीस्ट 200-300 बाल झड़ जाते हैं, ये कैसा, ये क्या है, इसको लॉजिक क्या है, ये सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस एंड इन योर थर्ड MBBS they ask you, so what are the layers of the median direct? Don't be scared. Direct बोले तो internal spermatic fascia की जगह fascia transversalis. Whether it is medial direct or lateral direct, ये आपका clue है. This is the clue. Okay. अभी direct का एक ही difference है direct और indirect में कि जो second covering है internal spermatic fascia की जगह fascia transversalis. The third covering in case of lateral remains same as indirect. And the median है, medially conjoint tendon. That's how you remember. So I have 4 minutes to spare. Should I give you to talk to each other or should I tell you something? किसमें होता है hernia? Those people who strain bypassing stool, prostatic enlargement हो गया तो strain bypassing urine, constipation, chronic cough. So what is happening? Constantly my abdomen. Violent Kapalbhati. I am not doing Bhaya Pranayam after that. I told you how Bhaya Pranayam prevents herniation. So abdominal crunches excessive जोश में आप पेट कम करना है, कम खाओ ना, कम खाओ, पेट कम होता है। हमको लगता है ऐसा ऐसा करेंगे तो ऐसा ऐसा अंदर जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं। So all these things, lifting loads, either load behind, simplest exercise for toning your abdominal muscles. आपके रिश्तेदार आपको पूछेंगे ये कैसा कम करने का, पूछते हैं ना, because you are young, so आप लोगों को नहीं होगा, फर्स्ट ईयर में ही नहीं होता, by the time you reach third MBBS, तो लाइब्रेरी में बैठे रहते कुछ करते नहीं। और मेरा वीडियो इतना मैं सिखाता हूँ प्राणायाम, प्रैक्टिस इट मॉर्निंग whenever you are empty stomach. So the way to prevent this herniation is keeping abdominal muscles. Even after surgery, like appendix surgery, some nerves supplying these muscles may get cut and so these are the causes of herniation. Hernia, very easy surgery, easily repairable. You will study the details. They put a mesh and they see this hernia. It can get complicated because suppose a part of intestine goes inside and then it has gone inside, and then what happens is the blood supply gets, venous drainage gets compromised, and then that part will get necrosed. So somebody may be in your locality is telling saying कि नहीं hernia हुआ है लेकिन मेरे को कुछ तकलीफ नहीं है, आता है मैं अंदर डाल सकता हूँ. They can push it back also. और उसको बोले एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जो आएगा बाहर और अंदर नहीं जाएगा, तभी क्या करोगे? That time it gets necrosed. And abdomen, any necrosis, that means peritoneum connects all the organs. So very simplest exercise मैं आपको बात बता रहा हूँ. लेट जाओ और खाली नेक उठाओ, खाली नेक अभी नहीं, लेटने के बाद. So what happens is these muscles which lift the neck, they are dependent on thoracic cage to be fixed, so they can lift the neck in a lying down position. Thoracic cage is fixed by the abdominal muscles. Okay, so if you lift your neck in sleeping position and put your hand here, you will realize, oh, यार ये तो टाइट हो रहा है. Another simple exercise, just lift your one leg. एक पाँव उत्थानासन बोलते हैं, दोनों मत, elbow become one leg. Even if they lift one leg, keep it down. Lift another leg. Take deep breath, hold the breath, lift one leg. So you try this when you go home, when you are empty stomach. Just try lifting one leg and touch your anterior abdominal wall. Moment you lift the leg, you will realize that the anterior abdominal wall, because it is fixing the pelvis now. So these muscles, when you lift the neck, it is fixing the thorax. When you lift the leg, it is fixing the pelvis. So these are the simplest exercises to tone the muscles of the anterior abdominal wall to prevent herniation. और हम में से कोई ये करता नहीं. So we have to practice this, and that's what can prevent herniation. Thank you.